numbers they have.
That Bart Lehman.
Yeah, I think it is Bart Lehman. It is Bart Lehman. He's followed the move across, hasn't he? So he is following Paul Double.
He probably may well just mark Paul Double.
I think it might be Rafferty, you know, who's trying to come across that. There we go. That's Tom Gloag following, I think, Adam Rafferty, the Irishman for Joko Alula. Where's Engelhardt gone as well? It really is breaking up, and we are coming into, here we go, and then at the moment, of course, Tom Gloag not going through, because they have Bart Lehman in the lead. In fact, both of those riders, of course, have a rider up the road. Here we go. And now it's Lehman who attacks Paul Double. Sorry, that's Tom Gloag we're looking at there.
It's Tom Gloag, I'm sorry,
That is Tom Gloag. Where's he come from? Hang on, that's the second group, isn't it? So Tom Gloag now goes. This is the best place of the Visma Lease bike riders, and he's looked so good this week as well. This is his last stage race with the team, I believe, before going to Q36.5 next year, and that looks pretty decisive to ride across to the front of the race now. He had to do it cleanly and not take anyone with him. He's going to get across to Lehman and Double.
At which point they will start to ride.
Oh yeah, they will definitely ride. The question is though, will it be Lehman riding for? Bart Lehman was 43 seconds down at the beginning of the day. Tom Gloag was 38. We know he's the best place. Surely at some point we ditch the Kian Uterbroek's plan and go down the Tom Gloag route. Surely.
Yeah. No, at that point I think they ride for Gloag.
And that is Taman Grat back there as well. So at the moment I don't really know where Uterbroeks is. He was back in that group behind, but I don't think he is going as well as Gloag and Lehman. That is for sure. Lehman at the moment just sitting on Paul Double, relatively comfortably looking. I have to say, I don't think Rafferty's done just yet either. That's the back of Tom Gloag, who is trying to get across to these two. We've got a camera motorbike in between them. Operation swinging in the direction of Visma Lease bike at the moment, but they've got to deal with Paul Double, who does have a pretty vicious acceleration. As long as he doesn't do too much here, I think he might still have the snap on them as they come around, well, basically as they cross the border into Czechia. 2k to go. It won't be too long before we're getting up by that border as well, up in the forest here. Double does not want Tom Gloag to get back on again. Two British riders having a little look at each other. I think he's seen that and wants to lift it again. Problem is, Bart Lehman looks very good there.
Yeah, Bart Lehman has...
Hutch, we've just lost you there. Sorry, everyone. I'll just pick this up and Hutch will come back in, I'm sure. Let's remember, Bart Lehman was 5th on GC back in 2022. So he's got previous at the highest level of the GC in this race. Yeah, and that's now Double still. I mean, Lehman is just sitting on him all the way up as well. So Paul Double nearly going full tilt right now as well, with Lehman just sitting in. But I thought Tom Gloag was going to work his way across there and get on, but actually the push from Paul Double is ensuring he keeps the fellow Brit away. Don't want to have two. Well, Paul Double doesn't want to have two Visma Lease bike riders to play games with them as well. He'd rather take the expected attacks from Bart Lehman by the looks of it. Apologies for a bit of sound issues there. We just lost Michael Hutchinson for a brief moment, so I'm going to keep going until he comes back in. These are the final 1,500 metres where we will cross the border from Slovakia for the first time this week here at the Tour of Slovakia into Czechia for the finish of this stage at the Kahutka ski station. Hutch, good to have you back with us. Thank you for announcing it. Well, between these two, do you think Lehman is holding back or hanging on?
He looks comfortable, doesn't he?
He does. He does at the moment. Double is a fairly expressive rider, so don't read too much, I think, into the way that he's pulling faces. I think it's a combination, I guess, of trying to see if he can drop Lehman, but also keeping Gloag at bay as well. He'll know how super motivated Tom Gloag is. Best placed, well, Tom Gloag is still the best placed of them. Paul Double and Bart Lehman were both 43 seconds down at the start of the day. Where is Lukasz Kubiš? We're not seeing him. We'll keep an eye out for him. He was the best placed, as we know, of the whole group.
Bear in mind here, Jez, that Paul Double, if he wins the stage and Bart Lehman is second, he doesn't get enough bonus seconds to win it, does he?
No, he gets a 10-second bonus on the line.
So it's going to, it's probably going to come down to the time bonuses here.
Yeah. Well, that's the final kilometre. That's the Flamme Rouge. We are nearly up at the top. The tree line will start to disperse a little bit as we get into the ski station part over the border as well. We're not even quite there just yet. Big hit out by Tom Gloag, who looked like he was riding across that gap, but Double definitely looked back and saw him and started to stretch on, and now Paul Double goes again. I think we're looking at a stage winner riding away from Bart Lehmann here. And Paul Double has only won one professional race before. It's a good one, though, in a stage of the Settimana Internazionale Coppi I Bartoli, the stage race, of course, in Italy this year. So he really is coming into his best at the age of 29. The British rider from Winchester in the south of England is stretching away at the front right now for Jaco Alula. If there was ever one of those three big world teams this week who've held back and waited and waited and waited, that team seemed to be waiting for this week, for this day, I should say, this final stage, this final climb up to Kahutka, and at the moment it is looking like going in the way of Paul Double. If he keeps extending his leads like this, he's also looking very good for the general classification. The British rider riding for the Australian team. He looks good, Hutch.
He does look good. He's got to make up, what is it, to 43 seconds on Lucas Kubis. He should get the 10 seconds across the line. So has he got that big a gap? Where is Kubis is the question now. The last ticker I saw said he was 30 seconds down, so he's still in play.
Yeah, and I have to say, Bart Lehmann looked like he was starting to turn squares there. I think, although he looked comfortable hanging on to Paul Double, I think we can safely say that Double was making him work very, very hard again. Into the final 200 metres, let's keep a little eye on things, because maybe the one rider who could rally something is Tom Gloag. Let's see what he's got left. Visma Lease bike have had a lot of fun in this race, but on the very last day, on both the stage and by the looks of it, the general classification, the boys in purple have pulled the yellow rug from right underneath the Killer Bees, and it's going to be Paul Double who finishes this one off. The Brit from Winchester, who's gone about professional bike racing the hard way, gets his second professional win. What a ride by him. Fantastic turn of speed to get rid of Bart Lehmann. Lehmann's going to hang on, and the Killer Bees will probably come in plenty of yellow near the front of this race. But they aren't going to take the stage, and they're quite possibly not going to take the general classification either. Here comes Bart Lehmann for second. Tom Gloag never did get across that gap, but he's going to finish the stage in third. He was the best placed of the GC riders at the front of the race. Hutch has probably already got his clock out watching these gaps, I suspect, as they
certainly
come towards this line.
31 seconds, 33 seconds to Gloag. So the question is, well, Kubis has already lost it, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's that.
Engelhardt comes in for fourth by the looks of it. This is Kian Otterbroek. So many people expecting this to be his big day out. He did look good. Let's not forget, he was leading when we came off the Verschates climb in the middle of the race. Great ride by Andrea Raccagni, who's had a fantastic week with Soudal-QuickStep Italian as well. Youngster coming through, again proving himself in this kind of terrain. And, well, that is we're looking there at Piotr Pekala doing a fantastic ride. Here comes Kubis. What a ride he's done this week. He's been second on every single stage and definitely the best climber of the sprinters in this race. What a fantastic performance in his national stage race, Hutch.
Yeah, he's been an absolute star this week. Lost a minute 14 on the last 5 or 6 kilometres of that climb, which isn't completely a surprise, but he did so well to even be in that fight through the earlier parcourse of the day.
124 kilometres today, nice short stage, but that was an absolute brute with what they had in the middle. And actually, I do think the final climb looked a little bit harder towards the top than I'd really realised as well. Some very tired legs. The tenderisation had taken place by then, definitely. And that's the stage winner, Paul Double, the man who was born and raised in Winchester in the south of England. He's another of those riders who came through Flavio Zappi's Zappi team and got his chance to race in Italy, and has actually spent most of his career racing in and around the Italian circuit as well. Well suited to the climbs, of course, that he has on offer within that racing programme. And there come the two Lotto riders together as well, having been in that breakaway. Fantastic shots of the border between Czechia and Slovakia. Of course, course, a border which originally didn't exist as well. Those two countries were Czechoslovakia from 1918, before the what's known as the Velvet Divorce, where they peacefully split in 1993. This was the end game for a man who must have been waiting all week. Although we saw him on the attack on stage 2, Paul Double. In fact, interestingly enough, the two riders who were away together, weren't they, on stage 2, Hutch, were Paul Double and Bart Lehman. On stage 2, wasn't it? They were away together.
That's funny, yeah, they were. No, I mean, that team have worked hard all week. And several times in the sprint stages early on, we were saying, well, kind of, they're up there working. What are they working for? Why are they doing this? And the only thing they were ever working for, as we said at the time, was the GC to keep the race together.
Well, look at that. Lukas Kubiš takes 10th place on this final stage. Great ride.